So in terms of the quarterback situation, I met both with Russ yesterday and Jaxson privately, and Russ was nothing but a pro, which I would expect him to be. It's my decision. I'm going with Jaxson. We're going to get him ready to play this week and the remainder of the season. He's going to do everything he can. Russ will be the backup. The conversations that I've had with these young men will be private. The details will be private. All I can tell you is we're going with Jaxson, and we're getting ready to play. So I'm not going to add too much to it. Those are private conversations. It's my decision, and we're going with Jaxson.
What did ownership and Joe say when you guys deliberated on this? Like you keep saying it's your decision.
Yeah, it is.
Do they agree with it?
Yeah, it's my decision. Again, we have conversations, Pat. We've said this numerous times. I have plenty of conversations. That's the direction that I wanted to go, and that's the direction that we're going to go. There's good conversation we had. Those are private conversations, like I said before. But ultimately, it comes down to me and the decision that I made.
That inhale from Brian Daboll that we saw 7 or 8 times, it looks like he's physically in pain. Like, look, it's not an easy situation to be the head coach of a New York team. Dealing with the media is part of it, standing up there and explaining yourself when you make a big decision as you're bracing for questions about it. It's stressful. Now, the question of whether or not others in the organization were involved in the decision, look, I don't want to, I've already still got the Jets media upset with me last year because I dared to question their reputation as rough and tumble. And when they got mad at me, my response was simple. Direct some of that at, the team you cover. The question of, well, of course, I mean, I know you need to check the box, and of course, he's not going rogue here. It's an organizational decision, and he can call it my decision, but do you think that John Mara, the owner of the team, or Joe Shane, the GM of the team, had a conversation with Brian Daboll that went like this? Well, we need to make a decision about quarterback. Oh, I know, Brian Daboll says, it's my decision. Well, let us know when you make a decision. We will otherwise keep busy focusing on other things related to the football team and not the question of who the quarterback will be, because that's a fairly insignificant point. I mean, it's something that they've had a plan for. So you have a plan from the moment you draft the guy, really from the moment before you draft the guy. It may not be a good plan, as we learned last year on Hard Knocks, but you still have a plan. And, it's not just random. It's not like ordering off a menu at a diner. You have an idea as to what's going to happen. Now, I don't know if they had a plan when they signed Jameis Winston and Russell Wilson between a Friday and a Monday. I think they were desperate. But you don't trade up and draft Jaxson Dart without a plan for what you're going to do. When do we make him the starter? And I said all along, if you think highly enough of Jaxson Dart to trade back into round 1 and get him, then he should be able to beat out Russell Wilson at nearly 37, where no one wanted him, and he signed a $10.5 million contract for 2025, with another $10.5 million in guarantees that he has yet to earn and probably won't earn, and definitely won't earn if he's still playing for the Giants when the trade deadline comes and goes. So, of course, others are involved. Now, it could be that Brian Daboll wanted to make the change before week 1. Maybe his decision was, we should go with Jaxson Dart. What are we doing here? After week 1, when it didn't look good, no touchdown passes, 2 interceptions, I believe 160 passing yards from Russell Wilson. We should switch. And they didn't. Week 2, Russell Wilson, look what I found, 450 passing yards against a defense that they may have improved the run stopping. That got Russell Wilson another week. Maybe originally the plan was to debut Jaxson Dart Sunday Night Football Week 3 against the Chiefs. I don't know. We looked at Week 5 as the week that made the most sense just because that's the softest spot, and it keeps getting softer given that it's the Saints. But these are all NFL teams. This idea of, we can't put him out there against a good team. Well, you're going to put him out there against whatever team's on your schedule. That's what you do. That's how you become a good team. You can't shy away from playing a guy against a team that's good. Now that Andrew Thomas is back, and apparently there were some rumors that they were waiting for Andrew Thomas to come back before they threw Jaxson Dart into the fray, but I doubt that Brian Daboll was the Judge Wapner in this situation, where the litigants were John Mara and Joe Shane, and Judge Wapner said, "I'll be back in 5 minutes with my decision." It's a collective decision. If you're going to survive in any football organization where you have other people who are higher on the pecking order than you can't just make decisions without consulting with them, even if your contract entitles you to do it. I think back to 15 years ago when the Vikings traded for Randy Moss. 2005, they traded him away. 2010, after things fell apart for him with the Patriots, he came back. Brad Childress, who had full authority over the roster given his contract, he decided that Randy Moss was a programmatic non-fit. 15 years later, I still don't know what the hell that means. And he dumped him. But he didn't bother to tell ownership first. And they dumped him, I think, later that year. Was it later that year? I think it was later that year. He was a programmatic non-fit as well. They should have known that before they hired him. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.